Friday night at Frank Theaters, Rivertown Stadium 12 in Conway, South Carolina, and you got the Phat Guys at the movies.
Right.
1 day delay.
1 day delay because I ate fast food for the first time in 2 months.
I told you, McDonald's will kill you.
And I thought I was dying yesterday. I had cold sweats and everything, so I don't know what's in that food, but after the age 35, don't recommend it.
We are here to review the Incredible Burt Wonderstone.
Right. Finally, a movie about magicians.
Yeah. You know, I'm an amateur magician myself.
Are you?
Yeah. Yeah.
How
Seriously,
so?
I can do prestidigitation.
Really? Did you start doing it as a kid? Like
yeah, I started as a kid. I kind of do the sleight of hand and things like that. As a matter of fact, would you like to see a trick? And I can see everybody out there in the audience saying yes. Okay, ready? I'm going to make Oliver disappear.
Me disappear?
Yeah, yeah.
That's a task.
Houdini made an elephant disappear.
My wife ain't figured that one out yet, so I'm curious. Yeah.
Hey, if Houdini can make an elephant disappear, you ought to be a simple task.
Well, that's Houdini.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you ready? Okay, concentrate very carefully.
All right.
On the camera. And he's gone. There you go. Oliver was here. Now he's not. And there are no camera tricks associated with this. We want to give this disclaimer. This was an actual disappearance. Now, to end this great trick, I will bring Oliver back because I need him for the review. And his wife probably wouldn't like it very much if he was gone. So, ready? And back. So what'd you think? What was it like out there in La La Land?
I don't even know where I was at.
Yeah. It
was like the first time I tried drugs.
Yeah. And
wow.
Yeah, well, and Oliver.
Not advocating drugs, folks. I'm just saying.
And I am not your father.
Yeah.
So anyway, we watched the Incredible Burt Wonderstone. Jim Carrey, Steve Carell, Olivia Wilde, James Gandolfini, and Alan Arkin, and Steve Buscemi, all in a movie about magicians.
And most of the time, these are people that we were looking really forward to this.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm a big Sopranos fan. I was also a fan of The Office.
Hey.
I know Ken has been a fan of Jim Carrey in the past.
Yeah,
Buscemi's been a good actor.
Everything,
good actor.
yeah.
So we were really looking forward to this because the last comedy we did, which was Identity Thief, was just it just made you want to go ask for a refund back at the ticket counter. And
they stole the movie time.
Yeah, don't try that, folks. They don't give refunds for crappy movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So here is the Phat Guys review of Burt Wonderstone. The Incredible Burt Wonderstone. Okay, you notice nothing up my sleeve. Actually, there's actually no sleeve. And now, the trailer. It's magic, folks. It's magic. Burt Wonderstone, the Incredible Burt Wonderstone. All I can say is they should have dropped the word incredible. Because this movie, I intentionally this time did not watch any of the previews. And when you work in a movie theater, it's really hard not to do that because we got trailers all over the place. There's commercials all over the place. But I didn't want to get in one of those situations where I saw all the funny parts of the movie before the movie started. So I didn't watch any of the trailers. Went in here expecting a lot because, we're talking Jim Carrey, Steve Carell, Steve Buscemi. There's great comedic potential there. Well, it didn't rise up to the great comedic potential. Jim Carrey was a Chris Angel type character, and he went way overboard. He went from magic to sadistic, okay? Literally, magic to sadistic. Steve Buscemi and Steve Carell were partners. There were some funny moments in there, and I'll tell you though, the highlight of the movie was Alan Arkin. He must be making some sort of comeback because this is his third movie this year. He was in Argo, he was in Stand Up Guys, and now he's in The Incredible Burt Wonderstone. Alan Arkin was the highlight of the movie. Enjoyable character. He did a fantastic job with the character as the mentor, so to speak, of Burt Wonderstone. It had a few moments here and there, but they were widespread. Nothing to completely hilarity, but there's nothing that would just gross you out as far as those disgusting, sometimes stupid jokes that make absolutely no sense. There was a resemblance of some sort of story, but all in all, they could have done a lot more with what they had. One of the highlights to the movie to me was the fact that David Copperfield, the great magician, was in it, and several of the illusions that were done by Burt and his partner Steve Buscemi were actually illusions created by David Copperfield for the movie. That was a pretty interesting turn. But all in all, I'm going 2.5, and I'm really stretching it to put the half in there. But I'll give it 2.5 stars out of 5 for the Incredible Burt Wonderstone. And now I'm going to disappear.
Well, coming into this movie, like we said before, we had really high hopes, being let down by a lot of movies this year, or at least personally I was, especially by Identity Thief, and looking forward to seeing that. Was really let down. I figured this is a movie with this cast that couldn't miss. Well, it was wrong on a lot of accounts. We'll go over some of the fine details of what's really wrong with this movie. First of all, it does have a real story. It does have real comedic actors in it. So I'm not going to take too much away from the story. They really tried to make a good story, and they did parody. Parody a lot of Vegas magicians and so forth versus the Chris Angel type magician and David Blaine's that are coming up today. So they had a real good story. So my question is, why couldn't they make it funny with all these guys? I didn't laugh through the entire movie. I think there might have been 1 or 2 moments that was kind of funny. Ken was right. Alan Arkin is the best actor in the movie and maybe the only funny guy, unfortunately, because with all this comic talent in this movie, and I'm adding Buscemi into that too because I've seen him be funny before, so I know he can be a funny guy. You didn't laugh through the entire movie. In fact, Ken can attest to this too. I actually, during the final scene of the movie, I actually went to the restroom because I didn't care what happened. I came in to see what happened. I knew what they were going to do. It was predictable. But I just didn't care what happened. I mean, I was to that point when watching this film. And I also discovered why teenagers think every movie's good. Because they spend all night crisscrossing the aisles. They don't watch a movie. They just back and forth and on their phones. I'm going to give it 1.5 out of 5 at best because they had a story. They had Alan Arkin, which redeemed it a little bit in some small areas. But 1.5 out of 5 is the best I can give a movie like this, and I'm surprised. I'm surprised that I'm even going to go over 1 for this. But I think I gave another movie 1 or 0 stars or something. I think it was Hansel and Gretel. I don't want to put it in that neighborhood. It is somewhat watchable, but within an hour you're going to get bored watching Burt Wonderstone, the amazing whatever he is.
So there you have it. Balances out to an overall 2 with my 2.5 and his 1.5. The Incredible Burt Wonderstone lacks the incredibility.
We don't need another one of these.
No. Now next week, I'm really looking forward to this one. I've been looking forward to this one ever since I saw it come out. It's kind of like a political thriller. Great cast. Morgan Freeman, Gerard Butler. It's got Aaron Eckhart in it. Olympus Has Fallen. The terrorists take over the White House.
This is like, and I described the trailer as being Die Hard in the White House.
Yeah, it's kind of like Die Hard and Patriot games.
In the White House,
yeah,
in Washington, D.C. Yeah. Now, that being said, that's not a knock on the movie because if anybody watches this show here, they know that I think Die Hard is one of the great all-time action films.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the best ever done. I think John McTiernan did one of the best jobs anybody could have ever done with an action film. When I make a list of top 5 action films, Die Hard is in it. So.
Yeah. So that's coming up next week. Really looking forward to it. And it's the thing that is a clue about this one, it's very seldom that Morgan Freeman's in a movie and the movie is not good. He's very selective.
Deep Impact. Deep Impact.
Yeah, but he was still good in the movie.
He was good, but the movie was...
Right. But Morgan Freeman selects his scripts and usually means that the movie's pretty decent. So
normally you can get
through
it. Right. And who's the Gerard Butler?
Gerard Butler, yeah.
And he's the protagonist?
The Secret Service agent that kind of goes and saves the day. Aaron Eckhart's the president.
Aaron Eckhart, a young president. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it,
maybe he's Kennedy-like.
Yeah,
he's a young president.
He's a Kennedy-esque JFK.
Get these models out of the hot tub. The first lady's coming home.
Yeah. So that's coming up next week here on Phat Guys at the Movies.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, I think I figured out how you did that trick.
What? When I made you disappear?
Yeah, I think I got it.
Okay. Let's see if you can do this because I'd like to see where you went personally.
Yeah. All right. Ready?
Yeah.
Well, there we go. Well, for Oliver and what was Ken, this is Phat Guys at the Movies. We'll see you next week. Hey, it didn't work. Where'd you come from?